What's up, everybody? My name is Parasite. Welcome back to the Jose Mourinho Challenge with Chelsea. Today we are in a Champions League quarterfinal, and we'll be playing both legs against freaking Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, and Liverpool. I'm not really looking forward to it. We have played one game since last episode in the Premier League, and we drew again. Our third consecutive draw. Fortunately, Manchester United, who were in second, lost. So I actually have a game in hand over them, and we're 14 points clear. And we're 14 points clear of Man City, who we're on equal games with. So we're still in a really good spot, even with 3 straight draws. We were playing Wolves, who are bad, very, very bad. They are bottom of the Premier League, and we couldn't even beat them because, of course, the last 3 teams we played have all been garbage. Norwich, Wolves, and Arsenal. And we couldn't win any of them. Super frustrating, especially because we haven't been able to score a goal in the last 2 matches. And we definitely should have against Wolves. We had nearly 2 XG. We were the much better team. We should have won the game, but once again, our finishing was absolutely god-awful. Since the beginning of March, we haven't been able to score in the Premier League to save our lives. We have 1 goal against Norwich in the 88th minute, but all the other competitions, the FA Cup, we scored 4 twice, and then in the Champions League, we scored 5. I don't understand this team. I feel like it has to be complacency or something. Well, they can't be complacent today because Liverpool are one of, if not the best team in the game. So we're going to have to score goals if we're going to beat them, obviously. We're going to have a pretty full-strength squad for it. We've got a couple players that have a little bit of injuries. Raheem Sterling's got a little bit of a knock, as is Ilaix Mariba. They're both going to miss this game. Mason Mount also picked up an injury in that Wolves game, out 4 to 10 days. He'll miss this leg. He'll be back for the next one, which means in the midfield, it's going to be quite a bit of rotation. Mike Fromm is going to play as a box-to-box midfielder, which is not perfect for him, but he can do it. Zvonorek's going to start in the midfield. He's been pretty good the last couple of matches, so he's going to get the start. Vidovic on the right wing because Kai Havertz is awful. Pino, Thiago up top. Camavinga staying in that holding role. Starting back line, though, Rune, Bade, Chile, Cerezo, James, and Harazo. On the bench, we've got Lewis Nielsen, Matteo Ruggeri, Isaac Beatty, because we need midfielders, Guilherme Santos, Frank Kessie, Kai Havertz, and Benjamin Sesko. We are at home for this one, but we are also maddeningly inconsistent, so I don't know what to expect. The last time we took on Liverpool in a 2-legged affair was in the EFL Cup semi-final, and in the first leg, they smashed us 4-0. Hopefully today, that doesn't happen again. 8.5 minutes in, we've got our first highlight, and it is a corner for us. Yeremy Pino to take it with his right foot to the far post this time, and Cerezo hits it off the crossbar. A decent chance to start this game. A start that's been pretty bland. Neither team with a shot on target. About 10 minutes in now, Liverpool have a throw-in on this left-hand side. The first time we've seen them touch the ball. Gio Reyna, the attacking midfielder from the United States of America, on the ball, is going to find Kylian Mbappe. Looking for probably Haaland in the middle, but it gets cleared out by Cerezo. They do pick it right up, though. Rhoda is going to go back to the center back, who goes into Svedberg, into Haaland, into Moretto, in a lot of space, and he does not make the mistake. The first shot on target goes in. Is literally anyone surprised? It really makes no sense, because we saw what Harazo's save percentage is. It's the best in the Premier League by a mile, but it still feels like every single shot on his goal goes in. It doesn't make sense to me. I just wish we could actually, not concede our first shot on target in any single game this year. It feels like every single game has happened. They've got to throw in now 22 minutes in. Gio Reyna is going to get intercepted by Mike Fromm. He's going to look for Thiago. He's going to eventually fall to Zvonorek. End of the feet of Bruno Thiago. He's got a lot to do here, though. 4 men back, and Nurzai wins it pretty easily. They do with a goal, long kick, though. Reece James is going to pick this up. Inside to Cerezo. We haven't seen us have a shot, really, yet. Just a header, and it hit off the crossbar. Bruno Thiago, Zvonorek playing for the midfield this game. Something he doesn't do quite that much for us recently. Reece James, ball into Bruno Thiago. Is that our first shot on target as well? No, it's our second. They've actually had a couple as well, so we've actually have made some saves. We haven't seen them, but we did it. We have 0.9 XG to 0.4, and yet it's 1-1, as of course, but at least we got that goal back. We haven't been able to score recently, at least in the Premier League, so it's good to get one there. And that is how the first half is going to end. It's going to be 1-1 between Chelsea and Liverpool. We had the much higher XG. They have 0.4 still. They haven't had a shot since our last goal. I've got a really strong feeling that this is going to be at the best a tie, and Liverpool aren't going to have 1 XG on the match. Got our first highlight, second half, 56 minutes in. We've got to throw in this time. Down this left-hand side, Yeremy Pino's going to pick it up. He's going to look to dribble in the middle. Going to go for a shot himself, and that is a good finish. We don't see highlights like that very often. A lot of times, those don't hit the target. Really more often than not, which is frustrating because Yeremy Pino is one of the best players in the world, especially at a position. But he puts this one in the back of the net. Really good finish. And it's fully deserved. We've been the much better team. Yeremy Pino, right-footed, goalkeeper. I think he's a little unsighted there. Still, I'll take it. 2-1. 65 minutes in now. They're going with the long kick, looking for the head of Haaland, but we do win this one. Vidovic is going to pick this up. He's going to go inside to Zvonarek. He's had a pretty decent game in the midfield. Reece James going to find Vidovic, who's not had a great game. Also pretty tired. He might be the first sub. Zvonarek looking for a ball in. It's going to go back post to Yeremy Pino. And that is 3. That one is onside. I don't know if Bruno Thiago was. I thought that Bruno Thiago was offside and was going to touch that one, but no. Yeremy Pino, back post. Pretty hard to miss that one. I don't really believe what I'm seeing, because we've got a 3-1 lead over Liverpool. 70th minute now. We've got a goal kick. Carrazzo's going to play it out to a center back. It's going to be Cerezo. He's going to go out wide to Reece James, who's had a very good game today. Zvonarek also had a really good game. He's been really hot and cold all season long, really all the past 2 seasons. But he's strung together pretty good games. And Kai Havertz, who's also been absent basically all season, and it's 4. What is going on? How are we beating Liverpool 4-1? Especially after what we saw in the first half. This has been a fantastic half of football from Chelsea, and I really didn't expect it. Apparently, we can score goals in every single competition but the Premier League. Only 5 minutes later, and we've got another highlight starting from the back. Badiashile looking to drive forward. He's going to look for Mark Rudin on the left side. He's also had a pretty solid game. Most of our team has. Mike Fromm, one of the lower ratings on the team, is going to find Yeremy Pino, who has been fantastic today. He's looking for a hat trick, but instead, he's going to play the assister, and that is 5. I fully did not expect this when I started this match. I didn't really know what to expect, but of all the possible possibilities, of all the results, I didn't really see this one coming. It is 5-1, and this time might be over before we even get to Liverpool. And it looks like that's how the game is going to end. A 5-1 win for Chelsea in a Champions League quarterfinal against Liverpool. Just insane. And, I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't fully deserved. We were the much better team. We dominated them both on the scoreline and on the pitch. Stats all in our favor significantly as well. They only had 0.53 XG. They only had 5 shots on target. We had 5 goals. I mean, I don't understand how we were so good. We struggled against Norwich and freaking Wolves, 2 of the worst teams in the Premier League. And then Liverpool, one of the best teams in the game, we absolutely boat raced them.
You certainly have the bragging rights over Liverpool following that demolition. What did you make of the game?
The players were tremendous today. This is the kind of result that we are capable of. I don't think we've shown it enough recently, but the players rose to the occasion today, and I'm very happy to see that. They were also spurred on by great fan support. I want to thank everyone that showed up today. You really gave us an edge.
Substituting Yeremy Pino when he was on a hat-trick raised some eyebrows today. He can't have been pleased with the decision, can he?
Yeremy Pino isn't really worried about personal accolades. He's a team player, and we care about winning. And we're going to be more likely to win if Yeremy Pino is fit and available. So if we can give him a little bit of a rest, that's exactly what we're going to do. That has to be our best result during my time here at Chelsea, right? I can't really think of any others that compares to that. Yeremy Pino gets man of the match. I've kind of slated him on his lack of goal scoring this season. Well, he showed me up today. 2 goals. Probably would have got a hat trick if I would have kept him on. And he got an assist and a 10 rating. He was ridiculously good. 10 dribbles and 9 key passes. He did everything out there. I really want to skip this second leg against Liverpool and go straight to the FA Cup semi-final against QPR. But if any team's going to come back from a 5-1 deficit, it's probably going to be Liverpool at home, being led by the likes of Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe, 2 of the best forwards in world football. So I'll be right back for the second leg against Liverpool. We've got one match in between in the Premier League against another bad team, Fulham. Hopefully it's not another draw. Hey, we finally won a Premier League match. We beat Fulham at home 2-0. Bruno Thiago and Guilherme Santos getting the goals. It was a pretty dominant victory. We didn't even try to play our possession style. Usually that's what we do at home, especially against bad teams, but I mean, we're not scoring goals trying to play like that. So we just scored 5 playing our more high-tempo style. So I thought I'd try it out against Fulham, and we created quite a few chances and got the 2-0 victory. Now we take on Liverpool one more time. We've got a 5-1 advantage. Surely we can't blow this, but it is Liverpool. And because it's Liverpool, we're still going to go with a pretty strong squad, even with the advantage we have. A little bit of rotation. Sesko's going to come in up top. We shouldn't need goals, so I think we can rest Bruno Thiago. Saying that, Yeremy Pino is going to start on the left wing. He was rested for the last match. Havertz going to start on the right. Mariba, back from his injury, is going to start in the midfield. Only recommended 75 minutes. Zvonarek, after that really good game first time against Liverpool. He's going to start again and that center mid role. And our back line is going to be what you would expect. If we're going to have starters anywhere, it should be in the back line. So Camavinga is going to hold his spot as a holding role. Rudin, Badiashile, Cerezo, James, and Harazo. I also made a few changes to the tactic. I went from balanced to cautious, and I lowered the tempo slightly. I took off run of defense, and I started to be more disciplined. I'm just looking to try to not make any mistakes. You know, don't need to play a super high tempo and make mistakes. You know, we don't need goals. We shouldn't need goals. I also went to regroup, staying a little bit more defensively solid. Nothing really changed in out of possession. Hopefully that should be enough to be able to hold on to a 5-1 lead. If it's not, I'm going to be very sad. 8 minutes in, we've got our first highlight. I'm okay with as little highlights as possible. Obviously, Liverpool feel the opposite. First one's going to go in Liverpool's favor, at least to start, though, from the throw-in. They're looking for Haaland, and it is an early goal. Okay, I'm still not worried. We still have a 3-goal advantage, but their first highlight is a goal for Liverpool. Not ideal. Also, unsurprisingly, it was their first shot on target, and it is still their only shot on target. As we've seen a little bit of a lull. We're now in the 43rd minute. We still haven't had another highlight since that goal. Gravenberch in the box. He's got a yellow, and he's going to go for goal himself. He hits it off the woodwork. They still only have 1 shot on target, and it ends in 1 goal. Well, we have 11 shots, 7 on target, 0 goals. All is right in the world again. It has to be complacency, right? That is the only explanation by why we, at certain times, we were just absolutely atrocious in front of goal. Complacency is really the only answer. That has to be what it is. We've got a 5-1 lead. We got a complacent. Havertz has a chance, though, and he hits it off the woodwork. Decent shot. But I still would like to score a goal. We've had 12 shots, 7 on target, nearly 1 XG. We still need to be able to score these goals. Well, it was a really worrying start, but fortunately ended up being a pretty boring game. It's going to end 1-0 to Liverpool, but they didn't even deserve it. They get the win, but it's still not going to be enough. We're going to win 5-2 on aggregate. I just wish we could have scored some goals today when we should have definitely scored some. Somehow we were able to comfortably get past Liverpool in the quarterfinal, and our reward is Bayern Munich in the semifinal. They were always going to beat Rangers. The other results from the quarterfinal, obviously, Bayern beat Rangers 4-1 on aggregate. Arsenal beat Manchester United 5-3. Pretty big. Manchester United are ridiculously good in this game. Glad that Arsenal were able to beat them. And then Juventus beats PSG 3-2 on aggregate, which means it's going to be Arsenal versus Juventus in the semifinal, and then us against Bayern. Not going to be an easy final, whoever gets there, but I do think we definitely have a chance of getting there and even winning it. I think it's pretty safe to say that no team left in the competition is as good as Liverpool. So if we're able to beat them, we've got to be the favorites. Next episode is going to be probably the FA Cup semifinal against QPR. And I think I'll show the Southampton match as well. We're still going for an unbeaten season in the Premier League. And Southampton is one of the toughest matches we've got left. We've got them, then Bristol City, who are 13th. Bournemouth, who are 12th. Leeds, who are 15th. And then, of course, it's the hardest inning possible. So we're taking on Liverpool and then Manchester United. Fortunately, they're both at home. But we've also got Bayern before that to worry about as well. So I'll see you next time for QPR and Southampton. Should be a couple of easier games. We were really good against Liverpool today, and obviously QPR and Southampton are no Liverpool. But we seem to play at the level of our competition as well. We're good against good teams, and we find a way to be bad against bad teams. So we can't go into these matches thinking we've already got them won. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. The links to all my socials and my Twitch are in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.